I have Taylor E. Stevens with me today, who's a lecturer, workshop leader, author, and spiritual consultant now for over 30 years. Welcome, Taylor.
Thank you.
How can someone tell whether they're acting from fear versus intuition, which kind of goes hand in hand with that last question?
Well, if you pause and you track, I don't think it's an either or, because I think being aware when you're going into a fear state, if you know what, and you develop a capacity to really feel what fear feels like, to be able to be aware of that in your central nervous system when we're constantly suppressing fear. We avoid fear at all costs, which is back to that idea that everything is moving so quickly. And we're constantly faced with images all around us that create fear. We're in a fear-based culture.
Is that a human instinct? Is that tied to a reactiveness?
The reptilian brain is absolutely hardwired. What is not hardwired is the amount of stimulation, the amount of data that is put out. Fear is marketable. If you take something, can sound, I guess, kind of ridiculous, but insurance agencies would not exist without fear.
Well, that makes sense.
Right? If we didn't fear, we wouldn't think that we had to insure absolutely everything to the highest cost, right?
Yes,
Fear of looking old is the basis of almost the entire cosmetic industry. Everything is based on fear. And so the hardwiring, the reptilian brain, which is a very natural part of us. Now, the evolution from lizard brain to awakened awareness is that's the evolutional impulse, if you will, that we're all part of, whether we're conscious of it or not. So I think becoming aware when you're in fear and aware of how you react when you're triggered by fear, more and more awareness of that then develops a capacity to just know, hey, right now, I'm in fear.
And pause.
Pause.
Or take a breath.
Work with the energy, work with just being aware. Most people are not aware that they're even afraid. We all have a repertoire of ways that we deal with, suppress. When I'm afraid, I fill in the blank. We all have an entire repertoire of those.
That's
and then
true.
becoming aware of it. I come from a family of a lot of humor. My entire family, I was born in a family that's funny. People are just funny. A lot of that was in reaction to a lot of tragedy, a lot of trauma, a lot of loss. And so to show up, if something triggers some of that past trauma or what, be funny. Tell a joke, amuse people, diffuse anything that's happening with a joke, with humor. So it is a defense mechanism. It can seem very subtle, but I think being aware of when you're afraid, what triggers fear, and then what do I usually do when fear is triggered?
And being aware even if you are using humor.
Even if it's not about changing what you're doing, it's being aware of what you're doing. It broadens your number of options.
Okay.
Normally, when I'm afraid, I would tell a joke. I would be funny. I might even be sarcastic. However, in this instance, I'm afraid and I'm going to own, maybe even, and this is growth for most people, I'm going to even take a risk and say, right now, I'm feeling some fear. How often do you hear that?
Not often.
Not often in our culture.
I
but
can't
that's
think of
real.
if I've ever heard that.
It's real. It's raw.
It is real. And it shows a connection. And
It
an
shows
awareness.
connection, and it also, fear has most people. Awareness, the ability to choose, the ability to be that raw, that will actually allow you to have fear, not fear have you. Turns it upside down.
Which comes from the awareness.
The awareness.
Yeah.
The awareness.
I
And the
can see that,
ability
yeah.
to feel without suppressing, without reaching for something. We're in the most deadened culture in human history.
Proven.
Oh, absolutely. Look at our diets. Look at our habits. Why do you think people are on the phone all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Deadened, deadened, deadened. Data, data, data. Staring, staring, staring. Not here. How often are you with someone and they're on their phone?
Oh, all the time.
It's
If
like,
you're with people, somebody's
wait.
always doing something. Yeah.
But I'm here.
It's become so normal. Right.
It's not uncommon if you're in a restaurant to see a couple together, both on their phones.
It's become more noticeable for me I always take note of families
Yes.
with kids. And it stands out when they're not on devices.
Absolutely. Quite a while ago, a couple years ago, I was in a restaurant and a group of young 20-ish, whole group of people, I don't know how many were there. All of them sat at a large table and the entire group took their phone, all of their phones, they put them in the middle of the table.
Oh,
In a pile, all the phones were there. And then if somebody reached for their phone, they had to pay the bill for everyone.
I bet it worked.
I know that
with
because I
younger
asked.
people. Oh, you did?
I went up to the table and I said, I don't mean to disturb you, but I just needed to comment on how wonderful and refreshing it is to see a group of people in your age group put your phone in the middle of the table. And that's when they told me, and if anybody touches it, they have to pay the bill.
Oh, I love that.
And I said, that is,
Good
I'm
for
telling it
them.
now. A couple years later,
Right.
I still remember because it's so unusual, so wonderful that they chose to really be together.
And at a young age.
At a young
Young-ish
age.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
We all have fears, but for most of us, fear has us.